Hey, Shalom, Israel, Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah. All right. All praise to the Most High, man. Hey, look, I pray y'all having a blessed week this week. Um, you know what I'm saying? Most High been uh, reserving all of our lives, man, and preserving all of our lives. So we all got to be thankful. It don't really matter what you're going through. It only matters that you have enough faith and patience to make it through what you're going through, right? So all praise to the Most High. Hey, I'm gonna start shouting some people out. We got Joanne Gilchrist in the building, Brother Nadi Yob, Diane, Carla Taylor, Captain Yahweh, Captain Shaquat, Brother Kasaja, right? Gabriella. Hey, and we got another good brother jumping in too, right? So I'm gonna bring him in real quick. Kasaja, right? Gabriella. Hey, oh, a good brother jumping in. Hey, you got an echo. What's going on? Shalom.
It's gone now. It's gone now.
Con.
Oh, slack you.
Yeah, nah, that's all good. What's up, man?
Oh man, you know. Show up. I was like, nah. Show up. God.
Yeah, man. Hey, look. Hey, the Most High been preserving us, man. You know, we gotta be grateful. A lot of things been going on, but hey, we approaching Passover season, so it's a lot of people that just going through it right now. But we know that the Most High purges out that leaven, right? And we know that the Most High is in the purging season as we lead up to the Passover. So y'all just endure to the end, man. Most High got something for you coming around for this Passover season. Hey, brother Yaiquab, Shalom, King, Shalom.
I was gonna say, I know y'all see on the class, it's 8:30, and we be starting the class. And I know on the flyer it be saying 9 o'clock. So this is what I need Israel to do. That's in the chat. Go ahead and find that funny looking button on the YouTube that looks like it's a right arrow and it has share next to it. Go ahead and click that and share to your friends, your cousins, your aunties, your uncles,
That's
your
right.
Facebook, your TikTok, your Snapchat, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your whatever social media you got. Hey, if you got a Craigslist account, slap that thing on there. Go ahead and get them up on here too. If you got Let Go, guess what? Tell them to let go off of the Let Go app and shopping and onto the class. You know what I'm saying?
That brother said you got a Craigslist. That's right.
Yeah, man. Because I know people kind of like with that whole time thing, it gets a little bit confusing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, man, we got people viewing from all across the country, man. So, you know, we understand some of y'all just getting off work. But hey, all praise to the Most High. And we're going to get into it, man. Hey, look, one of the topics that we're going to hit tonight, and I say one of the topics because Boaz sent me some stuff this week. I don't know if we're going to get into it. You know, we usually would deal with some stuff that he sends me. So a couple of things he sent me this week we can get into as well. And then also, I was looking for a clip that was gonna go with what we teaching tonight, but
it's tough.
Yeah, it was tough. So, but we dealing with human sacrifice, so that's gonna be a touchy subject. I can't wait for the people to hear that one. But go ahead.
Never mind. I was gonna bring out something, but this wouldn't. That has nothing to do with sacrifice. It's actually just weird stuff that people like to do, kind of thing. And I'm not going to present that. It's weird.
Hey, well, look, you know, we might have some time for that. I got a couple of precepts tonight. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get too heavy on the Torah portion itself is not too heavy in breakdowns. So we're gonna use that as an opportunity to edify on the topic of human sacrifice. So as we get started, make sure y'all RSVP for the Passover. Right? Mm-hmm. Make sure you RSVP for the Passover. Get your tickets bought because once they run out, that's it. Also, the cookout the week of the Passover, just be on the lookout for those tickets, man. Be on the lookout for those events. You want to be in the building. Also, this week, you know, we got the multiple camp locations going on. So if you are in one of our major areas where we have camp at, right? Chicago, San Francisco, um, Chicago, San Francisco, North Carolina, which is Greensboro, right?
Atlanta.
Atlanta, right? Uh, we also have brothers out in Ohio as well. Brother Boaz is from Ohio. So if you know people from that
Texas.
area, go ahead.
Brothers in Texas.
Brothers in Texas, right? We got brothers spread out. So if y'all in one of these places and you want to tap in, make sure you link up with these brothers and serve the Lord in sincerity and truth, man. All right. Hey, that's right. Dallas to be exact.
Yep.
Texas, right? Hey, look, we even got an officer in Houston, right? We got an officer in Houston as well. So if you on the other side, hit that brother up.
Hey man, you know what I'm saying? Might see me down there one of these days.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Hey, look, my Cowboys playing at home during the playoffs, so you never know. Nah.
Okay.
Well, you stupid. just wanna continue to throw love and praises to y'all, man. Look, y'all have been enduring right throughout this year. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the past 12 months. There's been a lot of stuff going on in Israel in general. And what you got to understand is this precept right here. Let's get Sirach chapter 2 and verse 1. Let's start with that.
Okay. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Come on.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
Now, what does it mean to make haste in a time of trouble? Right? So in a time of trouble, we try to start scrambling and figuring stuff out and doing stuff and trying to make all the dots connect, right? But what the Most High is telling you is don't do that. Continue to be faithful. Know that I got it.
Mm-hmm.
You pray, you ask for the direction, and you move in that direction. And be confident in that direction. Khan, go ahead.
Can we also say don't be quick to give up?
Hey, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like don't give up in the faith. Don't give up on enduring. Don't give up on, you know what I'm saying, keeping the commandments, because even though it's like things aren't happening in the fashion of where when we wake up into the truth and we start seeing the signs, right? We can see them and it's like, oh, this was going on and this was happening. And then while you in the truth, it's like you want Yahweh Shai to come back. It's not happening immediately. You like, when is World War III coming, right? When is Jacob's trouble coming and things like that? We have ourselves set in that mindset, like we ready for it, but are we really ready for that?
Hey, that's a heavy question, right? We can all do some introspection and understand that we not as ready as we think we are. You know what I'm saying? So be patient, endure. Hey, and check this out. What you were saying, a lot of the times when we going through this type of stuff, whatever it may be, you'll start being like, yo, like maybe what I'm doing ain't really working. Maybe my prayers ain't really working, right? Maybe my fasting ain't really working. But this is the battle that you signed up for. And now the battle is thick. So don't get confused into thinking that your spiritual side is not working because the battle is thick. Right? Let's think about this for a second. So when you playing basketball, you playing basketball, you practice day in and day out. You might be in the yard shooting free throws. You shoot 100 free throws, right? Matter of fact, let's use the example of LeBron James, right? Somebody like Kobe Bryant or something. They practice some free throws. They shoot 1,000 free throws at practice every week. Mm-hmm. They get into the game and miss 3 free throws. Do they start thinking to themselves, damn, maybe I'm not that good. Maybe I wasn't really prepared for that. Maybe I shouldn't be in this position. Do you think Kobe Bryant ever thinks that? Right? You know what he thinking? Dang, I cannot believe I just missed 3 in a row. That's what he's thinking. Because he knows that he's fully prepared. The Most High has given him the skill set to do what he got to do. And it's the same thing with you, man. Right? You know that you prepared. The Most High gave you the skill set. All you got to do is get through this tough time. That's it. Right? And then we're going to make it to the other side. So you're going to hear me saying stuff like that a lot throughout this class, man. It's a lot of stuff going on. But the beautiful thing about the Most High is that he always gives you trust in the process. That's right. Right? Trust in the process. That's absolutely right. And what the Most High always does is he gives you a signal that you're on the right path. And that's what we're going to see in the story of Abraham. Right? In the story of Abraham, he doing all this stuff. He go over here, he go to Egypt. This dude trying to take his wife. He come over here, his nephew get kidnapped, right? He gotta go get his nephew back. He come over here. You see what I'm saying? All this stuff happening to Abraham. But in the midst of all that, the Most High found a time to say, you're in the right place at the right time. Just be patient and be faithful. And this promise, this blessing will come, right?
Thank you.
Con, go ahead.
Yeah, precept. Just going off of what that brother Shalom the Barzayah, that was a solid precept too. He made me think of another precept, but his precept is Isaiah 26:3, and it says, Thou will keep him in perfect peace. The Most High will keep you in perfect peace.
That's right.
Whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. So when we trust the Most High and we put that faith in the Most High, then he will give us that peace. But it said perfect peace. And I was like, that made me think about what we're talking about, this in James. So James 1:2, it says, My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Like you ain't going to want for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because when you patient, when you in the right place that you need to be, like it says in Isaiah, in that perfect peace, and you in that patience, you know, the Most High, he going to take care of you. He going to make sure you straight. You won't have to want for nothing. When the times come, when things start to happen, he already going to have you mentally and spiritually ready on how you need to move from there.
Hey, that's heavy. That's heavy. That's an excellent precept to bridge the gap, right? Like the brother said, that's right on the target, because he said, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Right. If it hadn't been for you having to wait for the Most High, you would have no patience.
Right.
If the Most High just gave it to you like that, you would never need patience.
Right.
Right. So that's the reason that we have to have patience in the first place. So that's a beautiful point, man. That's cold. I got another precept to add to that. This 2 Corinthians 4:14. Right. Knowing that he which raised up Yahushua shall raise up us also by Hamashiach, and shall present us with you. For all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace through the thanksgiving of many redound to the glory of God. This is the point. For which cause we faint not, because through our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. So even though the outward man may be perishing, right? And all of us, hey, look, what Samuel L. Jackson said, I forgot what movie it was. He said, from the first slap and cry, we all begin to die, right? So even from birth, we begin to die. Right. So, but through life, we just like, oh, I'm going to, like, we kind of get that aura about us, like we're going to be here forever, right? But your back start hurting, your knees start getting weak, your ankles start, you know what I mean? Like life catch up with you, and you realize, like, dang, the Most High wasn't playing when he said the wages of sin is death, man.
Facts.
So now you got to approach this whole thing with a new spirit, like, yo, to hell with the flesh. I'm only focused on the spirit. And if the spirit is abounding in grace, then all praise to the Most High, man. So, Khan, that's beautiful. Yo, we're going to get into it, man. Look, we getting the scriptures rolling early tonight.
Yeah, let's get it.
Right? All praises to the Most High, man. Hey, look. So we're not gonna jump into Genesis first. What we're gonna do is before we hit Genesis, because we know the story of Isaac. So I want to lay some groundwork first,
Okay.
and I want to ask y'all a question. What is human sacrifice, and does the Most High require human sacrifice according to the Scripture?
Mm.
And let's get into it, right? Because this is the thing. And I was talking to the brother Yawasop before about this a couple of days ago. But it's not necessarily that we don't know the answer. We don't know how to articulate the answer. So it's taking me some time to think about it and how I would answer this question, because on the outside, on the surface level, what do y'all say? Does the Most High require human sacrifice? On the surface level, what do y'all say? Because I think this is going to be a good conversation topic, right? Let's see what people say real quick. Okay, so Zebulon jumping right into it, right? I know he got some precepts locked and loaded with that one. Dying to yourself, right? But look what One True Sky says, because this is true too. No, that's Moloch, right? Because we know that our people sacrificed, well, not necessarily our people, but the other nations, and our people followed them. The other nations were sacrificing their children to Moloch, man. That's the same thing with these abortion clinics and all that. Okay, be like Ant said, La'ah. Look at this. Hey, Barzai, hey, that brother Barzai be in my notes, man. I'm telling you. Right? Hey, look, we're gonna come back to that precept. Don't even worry about it. Right? But I want to lean on the answer that the brother Zebulon said. And I'm gonna throw y'all for a loop real quick. The Most High does not require human sacrifice in the way that you're thinking that he does. But he does require human sacrifice. Now, I got to be very skillful with how I teach this, because somebody could take this and say, yo, this man's saying stuff that the Most High not saying. So now I got to demonstrate it, right? So let's get into it. So first of all, let me get the definition of human sacrifice. I got it right here on my phone. It says an act of slaughtering an animal or person, or surrendering a possession as an offering to God or to a divine supernatural figure. Right? So surrendering something to a divine or supernatural figure would fit the actual definition of sacrifice. Now, let's see what they said. Let's see what they say. Hey, that's right. That's right. But I'm gonna show you something, right? Let's get this. Give me the book of Romans, chapter 6 and 23. We gotta lay the groundwork first. Now, I want to highlight this while he's pulling that. This is what the Old Testament onlys will tell you. They will say, your New Testament can't be true because your Messiah died for your sins, and the Bible don't say the Messiah was supposed to die for your sins. Matter of fact, God don't accept human sacrifice. That's the scoff that they would give you. So let's challenge that scoff, right? Romans 6 and 23.
It's the book of Romans chapter 6 and verse 23. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of Yahweh is eternal life through Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, our Lord.
So the wages of sin is death, right? So if you sin, the prize you get for sinning is death, right? That's what you get in exchange for sinning. Now, we've all sinned, and we all supposed to die. Now, this is the heavy part that we always forget about. Let's start with Genesis 9 and 5, because somebody did call that one, and that's an excellent precept.
Barzai coming through with the deep precept.
Yeah.
From way back in time.
It's stupid.
So this is the book of Genesis chapter 9 and verse 5. And surely your blood of your lives will I require, at the hand of every beast will I require it.
Come on.
And at the hand of man At the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man.
Read verse 6.
Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of Yahweh made he him.
Okay, so the Most High require, he used the word requires. He will require the blood of him at your hand. And we see that all throughout the scriptures, right? We read that in Ezekiel when the Most High said, if I tell you to give this man a warning, you give him not a warning, then I'm going to require his blood at your hand, right? So not only is the wages of sin death, but if a man sins and you don't warn him, I'm going to require his blood at your hand. Also, on top of that, if a man kills a man, I'm going to require his blood at your hand, right? We're gonna build a case, right? Let me get Jeremiah before I get Jeremiah. Yeah, let's get Jeremiah 46:10. Let's see another way that the Most High uses the imagery of requiring blood or the imagery of a sacrifice.
You said 46?
Yeah, 46 and verse 10.
Kind of one. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 46 and verse 10. For this is the day of the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, a day of vengeance, that he may avenge him of his adversaries.
Now, question, are his adversaries humans? His adversaries are humans, right? We all agree there. So if the Lord's adversaries are humans, pay attention to what's about to be said. Go ahead.
And the sword shall devour, and it shall be satiate and made drunk with their blood. For the Lord Yahweh of hosts have a sacrifice in the north country by the river Euphrates.
So when the Most High kills these people, it's going to be considered a sacrifice. Now, somebody pull me the precept in the law that talks about the law of the sin offering. The law of the sin offering, right? I believe it's in Leviticus. I know y'all know where it's at. It's Leviticus chapter 16 and verse, we can probably start around verse 6. Let me triple check that before you start reading. Triple check it.
Yeah, that's what it's talking about as far as Aaron.
Okay, so this is a sin offering. Right? But that's a good one, but that's not the one I'm looking for. Hold on real quick. Salakia, y'all. This just came to mind, by the way. So let me bridge the gap while I'm looking for this precept. So basically, the Most High said that when he destroys the other nations on the day of the Lord, the day of his vengeance, he's calling that a sacrifice in prophecy. And his enemies are humans. So it's safe to say that the sins that they committed or the things they did that the Most High God was not dealing with, that's a sacrifice, right? It's safe to say that because that's what the prophecy says. Y'all walk with me. Now, I'm gonna find this precept real quick. Give me 2 seconds. All right, give me Exodus 29 and verse 14. Right? Actually, Exodus 29. Let me triple check that. I like to triple check these now because they be wrong sometimes. Yeah, give me Exodus 29 and let's start at verse 36.
36 or 46?
Yep, 36.
And it's the book of Exodus, chapter 29 and verse 36. And thou shalt offer every day a bullock for a sin offering for atonement. And thou shalt cleanse the altar when thou hast made an atonement for it, and thou shalt anoint it to sanctify it.
Come on.
7 days thou shalt make an atonement for the altar and sanctify it, and it shall be an altar most holy. Whatsoever toucheth the altar shall be holy.
Okay, so and without going, it's hard to go into this all the way, right? And I'm gonna backtrack through this chapter to give you the context. But when you're looking at a offering, you have multiple offerings. See, we don't go over the laws of the offerings and the sacrifices enough, right? When we talk about the law, hey, shalom to the brother Ariel, right? And everybody else I missed. World without end and be like ants. So it's difficult to expound on it without me going over your head unless you're very familiar with the sacrifices and the laws, right? But in the anointing of the priest, when you had a new priest and you wanted to anoint that priest, you had to anoint that priest with clean instruments on a clean and dedicated altar, and the priests themselves had to be clean and holy, right? Nothing in the process, when you're getting ready to anoint a new priest, nothing in that process can be defiled, or you will not be able to have a new priest, right? And it makes perfect sense. Think about it. When you getting ready to bring the incense, you know, the holy incense that only the high priest wore, when you get ready to anoint him with that, who gonna anoint him? It gotta be somebody that's holy. And then what instruments did they use to make that a holy anointing oil? Well, those instruments had to be holy as well, right? Look, the brother pulling out precepts as we speak. So that's what I'm talking about. So I want you to use this in the framework of understanding a human sacrifice, right? Now, there are sacrifices that are holy, and there are sacrifices that are taken outside the camp to be burned. This is what I want to highlight for you. When we think of the Most High does not want a human sacrifice, we're thinking about the holy sacrifice that's burned on the altar in front of the temple. Yes, no human will ever be sacrificed on that altar, right? But as far as outside of the camp and burning something outside of the camp, we see many prophecies where the Most High is calling the destruction of the other nations a sacrifice, right? And we just read one, if y'all missed that earlier, that's Jeremiah. Now, now let's jump back and let's go back and understand this bullock really quick. So let's go to Exodus 29. Let's jump back in the chapter and go to verse 10.
Okay. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 29 and verse 10. And thou shalt cause a bullock to be brought before the tabernacle of the congregation, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the bullock, and thou shalt kill the bullock therefore, before the Lord by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Question: is the entire bullock holy? Yes or no? If you separated that bullock to be brought for a sacrifice, is that entire bullock holy? Yes or no? Right? I want to see what y'all say. Okay, there we go. So Yaquab said yes. Right? One True Sky said yes. Right? And that's correct. Whatever you set aside to be a sacrifice to the Most High, that entire thing is holy. That entire thing has to be set apart from the rest of the flock. Right? Keep reading, Boaz.
Okay. And thou shalt take of the blood of the bullock and put it upon the horns of the altar with thy finger, and pour all the blood beside the bottom of the altar.
Come on.
And thou shalt take all the fat that covereth the inwards and the caul that is above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and burn them upon the altar.
Come on.
But the flesh of the bullock and his skin and his dung shalt thou burn with fire without the camp. It is a sin offering.
You burn this outside the camp. So it's certain parts of sacrifices and certain parts of the ritual sacrifice that's burnt on the altar, and certain parts that's left outside the camp and they're destroyed there. So now let's understand why that matters, right? In the grand scheme of things. Hey, Shalom, Captain Judah. And that's right, Sister L. That's why I wanted to read down to 14. So now, and I'm going to bring it back. Just follow me, right? So now you have a sacrifice that's burnt on the altar, and you have parts of that sacrifice that's taken outside the camp to be burned, to be consumed. Now, let's spiritually connect that to the nation of Israel. Let's spiritually connect that to everybody that's on earth, right? But the Most High only has a chosen few that he's going to keep for himself, that's going to give a pleasing aroma to him, right? And that's going to be conformed to the likeness of the image of his son. Those are the ones that are brought to the altar on the inside, right? But everything else is taken outside and destroyed outside the camp. So when we look at these other nations and we say the Most High does not require human sacrifice, and I'm going to get into the other precepts, we got to be careful to not miss the similitude of why Christ died, right? Christ was a human sacrifice of sorts, and we're going to read those precepts. And we are supposed to live as a living and acceptable sacrifice just the way he did.
Right.
And he went to the slaughter and didn't open his mouth, right? So he was patient, as we opened the class up with. He was patient. He went through affliction. He went through tribulation, and he was patient because he knew the Most High had a plan. He never forgot the Most High had a plan, right? So let's drop this. I can go a little bit deeper here, and maybe we'll do another class on just sacrifice. And then we'll just draw out some diagrams, right? We'll make it crystal clear. But the whole reason I went there was to show you that certain holy things and certain unholy things can come from the same vessel, right? Just like the children of Israel. Children of Israel is a holy nation. The Most High put us above all nations. But within that nation is certain parts of that sacrifice he don't want, man. There's certain parts of that sacrifice that got to go outside the gate and be destroyed.
Right.
All right. But let's keep going. Let's keep building this case real quick. So let me get Romans 12:1.
Okay.
Oh, Salakia, my fault. Go back to Jeremiah 46:10. I got one more thing I forgot.
Okay. Hold this.
Yep.
All right. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 46, and start at verse 10 again.
Yep.
Verse 10. For this is the day of the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, a day of vengeance, that he may avenge him of his adversaries. And the sword shall devour, and it shall be satiate and made drunk with their blood. For the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, have a sacrifice in the north country by the river Euphrates.
In the north country. I know y'all know what the north country is. I ain't got to get no precepts for that, right? What's the north country?
Drop it in the chat. Quick with the thumbs.
Hey, that's right. Some people might be on their laptop, you know.
They should be, then they should be even faster.
They should be quicker. They should be quicker. Right. Right? Let's see what y'all, the north country. Okay, no. So, okay, one true sky says the kingdom. So no, the north country represents the place of captivity. Right? Mm-hmm. The north country represents the place of captivity, and we'll show you that real fast. Just so you have that in your arsenal. right? Give me Jeremiah 23 and 8. Yep. Jeremiah 23 and 8. I'm gonna grab another one for you.
Okay.
Con, go ahead.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23 and verse 8. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country and from all countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land.
So the North Country is representative of wherever we go to captivity. Now, generally speaking, the Northern Country was representative of the capital of Assyria, right, which was Nineveh, because from geographically, from where Israel is on the map, Nineveh is like north, making me think here, northeast, right, like kind of northeast of Israel. So that's why it was called the North Country, and a lot of the children of Israel was carried captive into that northern country, right? So in prophecy, a lot of the times the Lord will just call it the North Country. Also, when we went into Babylon, right, we traveled north and we went through Damascus, and then we went further east to go into Babylon. So that's why the Bible calls it the North Country, right? Like the brother Kasai just said, it's really synonymous with captivity in general. Okay. All right. All praises. Now, yeah, we ain't trying to misrepresent you. Yeah, we're not trying to do that. So, okay. So look, let's do it like this. Let me get Jeremiah 50 and 9. Let me give you one more.
And it's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 9. Verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain.
You see that? And we know what happened when Babylon fell. When Babylon fell, it was the Medes and the Persians who came and destroyed that country, right? And the Most High is now calling their kingdom the northern country, right? So it's synonymous with captivity, of captivity of all sorts, because even Greece, the Greeks were north, geographically north of where Israel was, right? The Romans were geographically north of where Israel was. So, and we know that Esau is the same people today as the Greeks and the Romans from ancient times, right? So all praise to the Most High. So that's where the concept of the North Country comes from, in case y'all didn't know that. So now, because we got that, let's get Zephaniah 1 and 7.
Okay. It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1 and verse 7. Hold thy peace at the presence of the Lord Yahweh, for the day of the Lord is at hand. For the Lord hath prepared a sacrifice, he hath bid his guests.
Now, what is it talking about? Is the Most High just having a meal at the crib, right? He just inviting people to the crib? No, let's find out what he's talking about. Verse 8.
Okay. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children, and all such as are clothed with strange apparel.
Okay, so I'm going to make it clear one more time. What am I saying? A sacrifice can involve humans, because these prophecies are talking about the Most High's destruction on these humans, whether they be from the children of Israel, but they be wicked and they be clothed in strange apparel, or whether they be from the other nations and they rising up against the children of Israel. In the day of the Lord's wrath, those people are going down together, and the Most High is calling that a day of sacrifice. Right? I got one more, then we can hit that Romans 12 and 1. Ezekiel 39:17.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 39, in verse 17. And thou, son of man, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, speak unto every feathered fowl and to every beast of the field.
Stop. Who were the feathered fowls and the beasts of the field? Are we talking? Is the Most High asking you to go speak to the animals like Dr. Doolittle? Right? No, of course not. He's using a similitude, speaking of the other nations, because they not even counted as people unto him. Right? He's telling you to go speak to those other nations. Go ahead.
Time. Assemble yourselves and come gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice, that I do sacrifice for you, even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel, that ye may eat flesh and drink blood.
Come on.
Ye shall eat the flesh of the mighty and drink the blood of the princes of the earth, of rams, of lambs, and of goats, of bullocks, all of them fatlings of Bashan.
My fault. My thing is freezing up a little bit. Say it again. That last verse one more time.
Verse 18. Ye shall eat the flesh of the mighty and drink the blood of the princes of the earth, of rams, of lambs, and of goats, of bullocks, all of them fatlings of Bashan.
You see that? So the Most High is saying that this is going to be a sacrifice, but it reads all the way down to 21.
Thus ye shall be filled at my table with horses and chariots, with mighty men, and with all men of war, saith the Lord Yahweh. And I will set my glory among the heathen, and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them.
You see that? So the Lord is turning the nations against themselves, right? They're eating the blood, they're destroying themselves, and the Most High is calling this a sacrifice. And through this process, what does he say? He says, and the nations shall see the glory that I have executed, the judgment that I've executed upon them. So when we say things like the nations will see the salvation of the Lord, or they will every knee shall bow and everybody will see the judgment of the Lord, all of these type of phrases that we hear throughout the Bible, this is what it's talking about. It's never talking about everybody just going to be holding hands in the covenant together, right? They're going to see the judgment of the Lord through their destruction. And the Most High is calling that a sacrifice. All right. Now, Brown had a good question. Go ahead. You was going to say something?
Nah, just to bring it back to the point that you was making as far as in verse 17, as far as like the Most High not speaking to birds like Dr. Doolittle, but we know even in Ezekiel, it also uses the reference of trees as people.
Right.
So you got to understand like these type of changes that are happening where it's like people are referred to as trees just as well as like beasts and fowls and things like that.
That's right.
So people don't get confused.
That's right. That's right. And the Most High made those other creatures, those other animals, to be subdued. Right. We read that in Genesis. Adam's whole charge was subdue the earth and multiply. Right. He was supposed to have dominion over those other creatures. Right. So we are getting a little bit deeper than I wanted to, but this is good though. So I hope y'all see the connection of what I'm showing you. There are good sacrifices and there are bad sacrifices. Right. And the same is true in the law. Now, we've seen some of the bad sacrifices as far as the judgment and the execution of the Most High's will on the enemies. Let's see what that looks like for us now, right? Now we can go into Romans 12 and 1.
Okay. This is the book of Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service.
Now, if you know anything about the ancient sacrifices, as we said before, when you have a sacrifice, you can't simply, and I'm gonna answer that question, Brown. That's a good question. But when you have a sacrifice, you can't simply just let that sacrifice go out like that cattle or that ram or whatever. You can't let it just do what it wants to do. In fact, it doesn't even mingle with the other animals. You put it in a separate place and it stays holy. It literally stays separate, set apart. Right? So if we're supposed to be living our life as a living sacrifice, by definition, that would mean we would not be doing what everybody else is doing. By definition alone. Then when you start breaking it down, you start being like, yo, dang, like the Most High, I'm a sacrifice. I'm living as a sacrifice to the Most High. Everything I'm supposed to do is eventually going to be given to the Most High. So everything I do, everything I touch, everything I watch, I'm supposed to be moving different. That's how we become that living sacrifice. Right? Let's get Ephesians 5:2. Let's see what Hamashiach Yahushua did.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 2. And walk in love as Hamashiach also loved us and have given himself for us an offering and a sacrifice to Yahweh for a sweet smelling savor.
So I'm going to ask y'all again. Does the Most High require human sacrifices? Right? And it just depends on how you choose to answer that. If we speaking simply from the matter of offering a person on an altar, of course not. Right? Offering your children to a god like Moloch or something, of course not. But if we're talking about dedicating your entire life to the Most High and just moving different and just being something that will eventually be dedicated to the Most High completely, like, yo, of course. Technically, yes, like the brother said. So I had to think about that this week, man, and it's a heavy thought because we live amongst the heathen, right? Ezekiel 4:13 says that we eat our bread defiled amongst the Gentiles. So as much as we trying to live a holy and set apart life, you know what I'm saying, we being defiled in the nation of our captivity. But we still have a commandment to live as a living sacrifice. And with that being said, we got to do our utmost due diligence to make sure we moving in that spirit at all times, man. Even when the cards is not falling in the way we would like them to fall, or when things is getting tough, we still got to be like, you know what? I'm a sacrifice. And I want to point your attention now to Genesis chapter 22. Because this how Isaac was looking. Bro, when I was reading this, Boaz, I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. When you read it, you're going to be like, yo, ain't no way. This is crazy. This is crazy. So we're going to get into it. Hey, that's right. Them Job trials. That's right. All right, Khan. Actually, let me take over a little bit of the reading for you, because I know you've been reading a lot. So I'm gonna read a couple of verses here. And if you got a point, just stop me and I'll stop.
Oh, God.
All right. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 22 and verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that Yahweh did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham. And he said, behold, I am here. And he said, take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains, which I will tell thee of. Now, real quick, before we go further, two words I want to point out. First of all, the word tempt. So we know that the Most High does not tempt any man with evil. It would be evil to kill your son on an altar. So what's going on here? Is this a contradiction? Or, you see what I'm saying? Is this a contradiction? Or is there something deeper going on? Well, let's look at the Hebrew word there for tempt. The Hebrew word there is H5254, which is nasa. And if you look that word up, it means to test. So the Lord was testing Abraham. But what was he testing? I know y'all know in the chat. What possibly could the Most High be testing?
Right.
Right. Go ahead, boy. I see your wheels turning. Go ahead.
Yeah. Just drop it in the chat because we gonna read it in there. If you don't know, we're gonna read it in a chapter, but I got this precept to bring out off of what you're saying out of wine. The book of James, chapter 1 and verse 13, it says, "Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of Yahweh. For Yahweh cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man."
There you go.
So just to bring that point that Adawan was saying, as far as the Most High isn't going to tempt you with evil, you know what I'm saying? That would be off. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? That's exactly what the heathen wants. That's exactly what people who believe in spiritualities and things like that, who don't want to believe that there's a Most High God, that's what they want to be able to make their point to say, you know, this is why we don't believe in God, because why would he do that?
Right. Exactly. Why would he do that? Right. Exactly. Right. And check this out. Something you just said. The Most High don't tempt you with evil. Right. Neither can he be tempted.
Right.
So let's understand what type of temptation was going on. Well, first of all, let me get 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, which I already have. You don't have to flip to it. 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. There have no temptation taking you, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that which you are able, but will, with the temptation, also make a way that you be able to bear it. So now let's bring this back real quick. This Bible is telling you that you've never been tempted with anything different than what other humans have been tempted with.
Ooh.
That means that Abraham went through a temptation that you can understand. And furthermore, the temptation that he went through is the same temptation that you go through on a daily when you're trying to decide, will you sacrifice your life for the Most High? Will you give your only life to the Most High? And that's the only thing he want to know. And everything you're going through is only to prove, I'm going to shut up, because actually we got a precept coming later in the scripture that's going to say that. But everything you're going through is literally happening just to prove that.
Slacky.
Con.
I got the precept to add on your point. Slacky.
Con. Let's do it.
Con. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 12. It says, "Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you." So don't go, why is this happening to me? Like it said, there have no temptation that is happening to you that has not happened to nobody else.
Right.
Matter of fact, when you read in the Bible from the beginning, it's telling you that there are going to be trials that you're going to have to go through so you can be refined.
That's right.
As gold is refined. Like you see how the process of how gold is refined. You know, that whole process, it's a deep process for real. That's
right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's impurities that's in it that has to be taken out. Like if you actually watch a show like Forged in Fire.
Yeah.
They ain't even using gold, but messing with certain different type of metals like Damascus and things like that. They will show you in the refinery of it. There's certain things or impurities that's in it that they have to take out. That way they can make sure whatever weapon that they're making, right?
It functions right.
It don't snap or break. The when they do the blade on it and make it sharp, it's not going because they put it through trials to test it how good it is. You know that it's not going dull out real quick or snap or anything like that. That stuff is important. So to refine as gold is refined,
that's right.
That's even deeper. So it says, as though some strange thing happened unto you, right? Because it's not nothing. How can it be strange if you was told that you was going to be tried, right? Sirach 2:1. You know what I'm saying? My son, thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. He just told you what time it is.
Right.
He just told you what was going on. Prepare yourself. Go ahead. Go ahead and get ready for it because it's going to happen. It's like when you get in trouble in school and your parents hear about it and they like, you get home and they like, go ahead and go to your room.
Yep.
You know it's about to happen.
Right. Exactly.
It ain't like you gonna walk in and it's just, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Some people discipline differently. Like sometimes you got to get them right when it, you know what I'm saying, they walk through the door because it's like you got to get checked real quick. You know what I'm saying? I got to shake you up for a second. You know what I'm saying, to make you realize like, you know, you got to act right. But in other situations, you know, walk through the door. You know what I'm saying? And you thinking like everything's smooth, and it's like, before you think you about to cut the TV on, play the game, something, go to your room because you know what's about to happen.
You see what Brown said?
That's pending.
Yeah, it's loading.
Right.
And look, this was heavy about what you're saying. Like, I don't mean to keep getting on track. That's heavy what you're saying, bro. Because the thing is this, it's like what Mike Tyson said. Everybody got a plan till you get punched in the face.
That's right.
Everybody come into this faith like, man, I'm about to, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep the commandments. All you got to do is keep the commandments. That's all you got to do. And just, be set apart. Cool, I got it. Right? And we think it's easy. And yes, we all put our name on the dotted line and said, Most High, I'm going to do this. Right? Just like the children of Israel told Moses. We come in like that until we get punched in the face.
Right.
Then we get punched in the face. The game plan changed. Hold up. Am I moving in the right direction, Lord? Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, you really don't know because you did. Like, I heard somebody say this. They was like, everybody says, I know it's going to be hard. They just don't understand the definition of hard. So when you come across what hard is, then you start re-questioning your movements.
Mm-hmm.
But think about Abraham, bro. Think about Abraham. It don't get no harder than this. This man went. We've been reading the whole story. He went over here. Somebody try to take his wife. Right? He go over here. His nephew get kidnapped. He go over here. Somebody else trying to take his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere he goes, stuff happening. Then now he stops, and the Most High like, hey man, I'm proud of you, man. Look, go ahead and sacrifice your son. This is the ultimate test, bro.
Right.
So everything you go through is always your ultimate test. The next thing you go through is always your opportunity to be like, nah, I'm about to pass this one.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I got to prove to the Most High that I really got this faith. Go ahead.
Even with Brown's statement that he's making, Brown says when he go through trials and stress, he just reminds himself that Yahushua had it worse, and it makes him humble himself, right? Yeah. Which is true. You could think about Yahushua, or you could think about Job. I even heard this because they like Job. They wrapped it up where Job could be like, that's based on Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Like the trials that Job is going through, it's like Israel. But look at what happened with Job. Like, are y'all thinking about the end? Are you thinking about Jeremiah? And I'm gonna get this real quick, 29:11, where he says, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." Like, do you know what that looks like?
Right.
It's written in the book.
Right.
The expected end is there.
That's
we
right.
so eager for the other stuff to go on. Like I was saying in the beginning, like, are we ready for Jacob's trouble? Are we ready for martial law? You know, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. There's a lot of gathering that needs to happen.
That's
we
right.
got to come together as a nation, right? Though there's this camp, that camp that's over here, Texas, over in Europe, over in the Philippines, wherever, in Africa, wherever, we got to come together as a nation for real.
Correct. That's right. What did he say? He said, great point, because sometimes it's easy to forget the prophet suffered as much, if not more.
Right.
right? And this is the lot. This is the lot of the prophets. That's why Christ said, no man is greater than his master.
That's right.
Right? They hated me, they're gonna hate you.
Facts.
And that even go for the spirits. Right? The spirits tested Christ, they're gonna test you.
Mm-hmm.
So if we don't come in with that spirit, bro, like, yo, you know what? I'm serving the Lord. It don't matter. I'm serving the Most High. It don't matter what happens. If we come in with that spirit and just go one day at a time from there, you can't lose, man. You can't lose. Let's get back into it real quick because I want to. The second thing I wanted to break down real fast: Mount Moriah. What does the word Moriah mean? Right. So in some Old Testament only communities amongst our Israelite brothers, they have teachers who they call Moreh. Right. So the word Moreh is a Hebrew word, and I'm gonna give you the Strong's number. Boom, 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 boom. Lucky, I gotta find it now. Okay, Moreh.
Facts. Hey, that's a good one.
Okay.
That said, Yahushai is the ultimate example of you can't lose. That's cold.
That is cold. That is cold. You literally can't lose. Like, bro, it ain't nothing that happens that you can lose. Straight up.
Like, come on, man. It's like
if you die like that and the Most High bring you back, you can't lose.
You feel me? Like, come on.
It just is what it is. Right? Right. He lost and still won. Hey, and I got the precept for it too, man. That Isaiah 53.
You feel me?
You gotta have that mindset, Israel.
God.
Look what it said. This is the word. Okay, so Mount Moriah is a combination of two words. Moriah is a combination of two words. The first word is H4175B, which is Moreh, which means a teacher. Right? It's used a couple of times throughout the Torah. And then Yah, which is an abbreviated name of Yahweh. So the teacher of Yah, or teaching of Yah, or Yah is the teacher. Right? How do you want to put it together? So right here, he told Abraham to go to Mount Moriah and I'm gonna test you. Bro, it's cold, man. Let's keep going.
Yahweh teaches. That's fire.
Yahweh teaches, and he gonna test you. He gonna test you there. You can't make it up, right?
And teach you something at the same time.
That's what I'm saying. You can't make it up, right? Genesis 22:3. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and took two of his young men with him and Isaac his son, and clave the wood for the burnt offering, and rose up and went into the place which God had told him. Then on the third day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw a place far off. And Abraham said unto his young men, abide ye here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship and come again unto you. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son, and he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and they went both of them together. So I emphasize the fire in his hand because I read that like 5 times, and I was like, how he took the fire in his hand? Yeah. He had a torch. Yeah,
and a knife.
Right? So he got the torch and the knife in his hand. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering. Oh, okay, we read that. Verse 7. And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father and said, my father. And he said, here am I, my son. And he said, behold the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? So Isaac don't even know what's going on.
Right.
I had to read this about 10 times. Isaac don't know what's going on right here. Verse 8. And Abraham said, my son, God will provide a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together. Now, I thought about this. Did Abraham know exactly how this was going to play out? he was just kind of moving in the spirit, like, you know what? This is crazy. You know, we're gonna figure it out. Most High, we just gonna do what he wants to do real quick. We're gonna make this move, and then we'll adjust when we, you know what I'm saying, when we get there.
Okay.
Verse 9. And they came to the place which God had told him of. And Abraham built an altar there and laid the wood in order and bound Isaac his son and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son. So when the Most High told him, you got to give up your son, this is the second time. Remember, Ishmael, he was like, listen to your wife, send Ishmael out. So they sent Ishmael out with just a bottle of water, basically. Sent him out. First son. Second son, I want you to sacrifice him. Abraham, it was nothing that Abraham was not willing to give up to serve the Most High.
That's right.
That's what it comes down to. And that's a tough ask. The Most High just appear in this room right now and be like, yo, give up your two legs and come serve me. It's gonna be difficult, for real. It's just gonna be difficult.
Even just to hear him say, what are you willing to give up?
Right. Because what you gonna choose?
You know what I'm saying? Like we have dreams and aspirations and things like that, right?
Yeah.
You know, we want to become something. We want to be a CEO. You know what I'm saying? You want to have your own business. You know what I'm saying? The Most High came and you just started your business and he made it fruitful and you was loving it. Like the days of your life was good and you was happy. You still went through things, but you was more happier than you ever been because the Most High blessed you with that thing. And he said, will you give that up to come and serve me? And you're going to just let it go. Now, some people will be like, yeah, you're just going to jump to it and be like, yeah, but actually put yourself in that place, like for real. Like even in the aspect of the Most High gave you the love of your life. You know what I'm saying? Person you've been looking for. Matter, you weren't even looking because you were so busy focused on Yahweh. He said, there it is. You know what I'm saying?
Let me give you this real quick.
And there it is. You've been the happiest, right? You all good. Y'all gonna have kids and stuff. You got the 5-year future plan, all of that set up. And he say, I want you to give that up and come and serve me. What are you really gonna do?
And that's the crux of it right there. That's the crux of it. Do you half step? Do you start half stepping? Like, oh snap. You know, sometimes when the Most High asking us to give stuff up, we don't think it's the Most High saying that. We'll be like, that can't be the Most High.
Right.
Imagine if Abraham would have had that spirit. Imagine if the Most High would have been like, hey, go sacrifice your son. And he was like, that can't be the Most High. And then he went to do something else.
Right.
And we find ourselves in that situation. So we got to be praying for, additionally to everything else we're saying, we got to be praying for spiritual clarity and discernment to be able to know when the Most High is speaking and when it's not the Most High. Like that's probably one of the most important prayers, right? One of the most important prayers is having that spiritual clarity to know when the Most High is speaking and when he's not speaking. Right? Hey, y'all saying some cold stuff in the chat, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, man. Y'all active today. I'm glad.
Nah, straight up. He said Christ told a rich man to sell all his goods and he went away crying.
Facts. He did.
Because that man was like, yo, man, I work for all this, dog. Like I this is my whole life. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how he looking at it.
You see what I'm saying? Like you can't listen. The rich man in that moment, what do you say, Adam? He worked for it all his life.
Yeah.
Like you worked hard for that. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And now, give it up. Go ahead, just give it up. Give it up and come and serve me. You know what I'm saying? Like some of us will sit back here and say to ourselves or in this live, like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it. But you're not in that situation. That person was in that situation and you see what he did.
Right.
But that's when we do that, that's that faith that comes into placement that we was talking about before, with the faith and the patience and everything like that.
That's right.
That's how that works for real. Because you know, with the patience and your faith being tried, the Most High knows what He has for you in the end to give you an expected end.
That's right.
You don't know, you know what I'm saying? You have no idea what He gonna do for you. Job had no idea what He was gonna do for him. All his kids died, lost his substance, you know what I'm saying? Wife telling him to just curse God and die, you know. But then what? He gave him more kids,
That's right.
more substance and things like that, cleaned him up and everything, you know. And that's like us for real.
Mm. Yo, that seems to be a pattern. That seems to be a pattern because the Most High did it there, but He does it again with Moses, right?
Right.
Moses leaves Egypt. He leaves the kingdom of Egypt only to be the second highest man in the greatest nation ever.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then he gonna have that same rulership in the kingdom. Like he's still gonna be a great man in the kingdom.
Right.
So he left something, and then the Most High was like, dang, since you sacrificed that, let me give you this.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the times that's what we be scared of. We be scared of giving up what we love, but a lot of times the Most High put that love and that desire of whatever you holding on to, He put that love and desire in there for you. But He just wants you to do it for Him. Right? And now we going off into something else. I'm just kind of just moving with you, bro. But yeah, that's cold. That's why the scripture says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things will be added unto you.
Yes. Facts.
If you seek first the kingdom, you're gonna get it anyway. So why hey look, why lose the world or why gain the world and lose your soul when if you gain the spiritual things, you'll get the world and you'll keep your soul.
Right.
It don't make no sense. Right? Let's get back into it. All right, so this is verse 7.
Use that verse 8, I think.
Oh, verse 8, Salakia. And Abraham said, my son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together. We read that. Let's jump down to verse 12, actually. We're on verse 12. And he said, lay not thy hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest God, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thy only son from me. Let me say something real quick for the people who be reading this passage and saying, well, Abraham was never really going to sacrifice his son. That verse right there disproves that.
Right.
That verse right there is telling you that Abraham made it up in his spirit that he was going to do it. And that's what the Most High wants you to do, man. Right? I'm not going to harp on that too long, but that's what the Most High wants us to get to. He wants our spirit to really be there where it's like, you know what? If I die for the brethren, I die for the brethren. If I die for my family, I die for my family. Right? If I die for this truth, I die for this truth.
That's right.
All right, let's keep going. And he said, verse 13, and Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. And Abraham called the name of that place Yahweh Jireh, or Yahweh Yireh, as it is said to this day, in the mount of the Lord it shall be seen.
Salakia.
Time.
So, because I got a precept for what you was just reading in verse 12, you know what I'm saying, on Abraham in that moment, you know what I'm saying, that showed the Most High that faith that he had, which gets talked about again over here in James. This is how we disprove the ideology that all you have to have is faith and you don't have to have works, because it makes no sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Love is an action word, right?
Mm-hmm.
whenever you in a situation, and this is if you was in your past life and you heard a woman say this to you, show me that you love me. You can't be on the 2K game and she say, show me you love me. And you say, but I love you, babe, but I'm playing this game.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't showing her nothing but you care about 2K. That's what you showing her.
Mm-hmm.
Love is an action word. Just like faith without works is dead.
God.
So by the action of us showing that we love the Most High, we're showing him by action that by the works and keeping the commandments that we have the faith in believing like we going to trust in him at all times.
That's right.
Even when we don't see what's getting ready to happen, because it's not for us to be able to see those things like we could see into the future. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Most High. But not to get off the topic, but it says in James 2:19, it says, thou believest that there is one God, thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered Isaac his son upon the altar? So just the point that Adawan was saying, people would say, oh, he wasn't going to sacrifice his son. Yo, James just told you that's what he was about to do.
Facts. Facts.
He just told you that's what he was going to do. And then it goes on to say, was not Abraham our father, Slakia, verse 22, seest thou how faith wrought with his works, and by his works was faith made perfect. That's the same thing we just read in chapter 1.
Correct.
But let patience have his perfect work. You know, he didn't know what was going to happen after that. He getting ready to sacrifice his son. He don't know if the Most High going to bless him with another one. And he had to wait for that one because he was the chosen at his old age and Sarah's old age. Sarah laughed when the Most High told her that she was going to have a child.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because she couldn't believe it.
Right.
But that's how we learn that the Most High, he can do anything.
That's right.
But it's like it.
Nah, that's a good point. And that's beautiful how you brought it back to James. Because I was reading it as you said it, and that's cold. He said, was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered Isaac his son?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say when he was about to offer him, when he offered him. So the presentation of his son upon the altar is the offering. So when we start to, once we've made our mind up, I'm gonna serve the Most High, nothing gonna get in the way. That's you offering all those other things that could get in the way. You just putting them jumps up there, bro. Like none of this gonna stop me from serving the Most High, man.
That's right.
That's a beautiful, beautiful precept. Right, let's go back.
Okay.
Right, hey, if y'all eating in the chat, please put some chicken wings in the chat, man. Put some chicken wings in the chat. Right? Because we eating tonight, man.
God.
This verse 15, Genesis 22 and 15. I'm gonna let you take over back to read.
Kind of wow.
It says, and the angel of Yahweh called unto Abraham out of heaven the second time and said, by myself have I sworn, saith Yahweh, for because thou hast done this thing and hast not withheld thy son, thy only son, that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore, and thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies. So you talking about a flip of fortunes, like the Most High, hey, yo, sacrifice your son. Abraham had made it up like, dang, well, I guess I just had this son just to have him for this little bit of time. But, if it be the Lord's will, whatever. He done made his mind up. Now the Most High like, nah, not only are you going to keep your son, I'm going to give you so many children that you ain't going to be able to count them.
Right.
And on top of that, y'all gonna possess the gate of your enemy. Nobody gonna be able to stand before you. Right? Verse 18. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. I love to pull this verse when they go to Genesis 12:3. Always pull this one, because the verse before it says that they will possess the gate of their enemies. So when they try to hit you with Genesis 12:3, see, everybody's going to be blessed in Abraham. Well, this Bible right here says that some people are going to be possessed by the seed of Israel. So it can't be that everybody is going to be brought into the covenant.
Right.
Things can't be true at the same time. Right? Let's keep going. So Abraham returned unto his young men, and they rose up and went together to Beersheba, and Abraham dwelt at Beersheba. And it came to pass after these things that it was told Abraham, saying, Behold, Milcah, she hath borne children unto thy brother Nahor. Who's his first son? Who's his brother? Kemuel, the father of Aram, Kesed, and Hazo, Pildash, and Jidlaph, and Bethuel. And Bethuel begat Rebekah. These 8 Milcah did bear unto Nahor, Abraham's brother. And his concubine, whose name was Reumah, she bare also Tubal and Gaham, and Tahash, and Ma'akah. All right, so now we can hit Genesis 23 and verse 1.
Con, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 23 and verse 1. And Sarah was 107 and 20 years old. These were the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died in Kirjath-arba. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her.
So once again, when people pull that precept and say, let the dead bury their dead, let me say this. You have to mourn for people who pass.
Right.
Don't let nobody trick you into saying you don't have to mourn. They mourn for Joseph. They mourn for many other people who passed in Israel. Right? When Miriam passed, Moses' sister, they mourn for her. Right? Everybody who passes, we got to give them their due respects, especially if they was a righteous person. So don't let somebody read those precepts that say, different things and try to twist it up. Like you see here, Abraham mourned for Sarah. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And Abraham stood up from before his dead and spake unto the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and a sojourner with you. Give me a possession of a burying place with you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. And the children of Heth answered Abraham, saying unto him, Hear us, my Lord. Thou art a mighty prince among us. In the choice of our sepulchres, bury thy dead. None of us shall withhold from thee his sepulchre, but that thou mayest bury thy dead. And Abraham stood up and bowed himself to the people of the land, even to the children of Heth. And he communed with them, saying, If it be your mind that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me, and entreat for me to Ephron, the son of Zohar, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah, which he hath, which is in the end of his field. For as much money as it is worth, he shall give it me for a possession of a burying place amongst you. And Ephron dwelt among the children of Heth, and Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the audience of the children of Heth, even of all that went in at the gate of his city, saying, Nay, my Lord, hear me. The field give I thee, and the cave that is therein I give it thee. In the presence of the sons of my people give I it thee, bury thy dead.
So they just gave it to Abraham based off the strength of his reputation in the area, right? So the people respected Abraham. He came and said, yo, let me get somewhere to bury my people, my wife. And the people was like, yo, not only am I going to give you a place to bury your people, but I'm going to let you, you good. Basically, you good. Don't worry about it. Right? Go ahead.
God. And Abraham bowed down himself before the people of the land. And he spake unto Ephron in the audience of the people of the land, saying, but if thou wilt give it, I pray thee, hear me. I will give thee money for the field. Take it of me, and I will bury my dead there. And Ephron answered Abraham, saying unto him, my Lord, hearken unto me. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that betwixt me and thee? Bury therefore thy dead. Hey, that's cool right there.
Mm-hmm.
Also made me think about the point that you were saying as far as like they asked for Yahushai's life for what, 30 pieces of silver?
Right.
And he was talking about this land for 400 shekels of silver.
400 shekels of silver.
And he said, what is that betwixt me and you? Like, what is that between me and you? What is
right?
Like, what does that got to do with me and you? You for real? Just
right.
go ahead and bury your people, man.
Yeah, go ahead, man. You good, man. If you it's like when you ask somebody for $20 or something like that, and they be like, man, if you don't take this $20 and get out of here, like,
yeah, you're saying,
get out of here, man. You know, I got you, man.
Right. Verse 16. And Abraham hearkened to Ephron, and Abraham weighed to Ephron the silver which he had named in the audience of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, current money, with the merchant. And the field of Ephron, which is in Machpelah, which was before Mamre, the field and the cave which was therein, and all the trees that were in the field, that were in all the borders round about, were made sure unto Abraham for a possession in the presence of the children of Heth, before all that went in at the gate of his city. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah before Mamre. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. And the field and the cave that is therein were made sure unto Abraham for a possession of a burying place by the sons of Heth.
All right. So Barakatah Yahweh Shah for the reading. Hey, man, these Torah classes be heavy every time, man. I'm telling you. But the thing is, when you're reading through this, it's always something like these stories be seeming so simple, but it be so much information. Like, once again, chapter 23 was just talking about the death of Sarah and how Abraham got that field in order to bury her in. But you know what this really teaches us, man, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this point. We can read through that story and be like, all right, cool, it ain't no breakdowns in this story. It's not really much to look at. You think they wrote that whole chapter and it wasn't much to look at? I think the reason they wrote that chapter is to highlight the way that people looked at Abraham, and the way that other nations respected Abraham, bro. Like, let's get Genesis 4 and 6 real quick. All right, my fault. Deuteronomy 4 and 6 real quick, just to make this one point.
Wow, here's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
So a lot of the times our people, we harp on the fact that this is our wisdom and our understanding, but we miss the part where it says in the sight of the nations. We're supposed to be wise in the sight of the nations. They're supposed to look at us and be like, it just ain't really much to say bad about this brother, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they post. Didn't Pilate say that about Christ? Pilate brought Christ up before all the people. He was like, look, I don't see nothing wrong. Like, I don't see that he did that wrong. I'm gonna wash my hands of this. Right? So the other nations are supposed to look at it. Look how they treated Daniel. This is the spirit I've been in for real. Look how they was treating Daniel. Daniel rose up through the ranks in a foreign nation. Right? Joseph rose up through the ranks in a foreign nation. Moses rose up through the ranks in a foreign nation. And people had to respect that. There was no way around it. Paul rose up through the ranks, bro. Paul pulled the card and was like, yo, I'm a Roman. And had the Romans feeling bad for putting him in prison. So these are all the things, like, we just gotta be in that type of spirit where it's like, I'm moving with so much wisdom and so much clarity and so much obedience and patience towards the Most High, that these other nations don't have nothing to say. And we know they're gonna hate us anyway, and let that be so. But they're not gonna have nothing to actually bring a charge against me, right? Because I'm moving with wisdom in the sight of the nations. And that's what I see that Abraham did. So, hey, look, we appreciate y'all, man. I know y'all was eating tonight, as you do on every night of the week when we have these classes. So make sure you are staying tuned for Sabbath Morning Brew. Next week, we're going to start off with some of the stuff that Boaz brought out throughout the week, because we got some good stuff in here for you. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? If y'all got anything y'all want us to react to, any videos, anything like that, hit us up, put in chat. You know what I'm saying? We'll go find it and we'll bring it up next week.
All right.
You had anything else for the people?
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all jump on the website, anointedhouseofsaints.org.
That's right.
So y'all get y'all's tickets for Passover, man. Passover is coming up. Also, let me not forget Ashar Kadash Iraq, right? You know, because
hey, that's right. Hey, how can I forget to say that? That's good. All praise it.
You know what I'm saying? It is new moon, even though we did the lesson last night. You know what I'm saying? Ashar Kadash Iraq is real. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all feasting. Of course, I know y'all feasting. Y'all got to be feasting after this for real. Like, but make sure you put something in your body to nourish your body. So if you got to work tomorrow and everything like that, you're well nourished. You know what I'm saying? You don't be getting tired or falling out. We don't want nothing happening to nobody. All right.
Hey, that's right.
Yeah. Make sure y'all get onto the website so y'all can get y'all's tickets, man. Because it's going to be, you got some special stuff going on this year. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we going to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? But we also got some other things going on as well, right? So make sure y'all do that. What was the other thing? Oh, tomorrow night at 9 p.m. I think they got the ticker in here for it. Call in.
Oh yeah, for the prayer call.
Call into the class, man. Call into the prayer call. Let me see if that's down here so y'all can get that. There it is. All right. Y'all see the ticker at the bottom. So call in for the prayer line, man. If y'all got prayers, I know Israel got prayers that they want to send up. Go ahead and call in, you know, and don't call in and hang up. Call in and stay on the line, because brothers be sending up prayers like we request that if y'all have prayers for you or your family members, anybody, you know, we know what's going on, so we can send them prayers up. All right.
That's right.
Call in. It's at 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. Right? Not 9:30. Not you can call in at 8:59. You know what I'm saying? Right? But make sure y'all call in, man. We would love for y'all to be on there with us. That way we can give the Most High his praise, honor, and glory for another Sabbath, right?
Yeah, bring the Sabbath in right, man.
Let me think. What else is there? Well, okay. Oh yeah, the brother Brown said he gonna be there at Passover. He must got his ticket. That brother.
All praises.
That brother is ready. Fine. But other than that, all I got is this book of Daniel.
Let's get
it. You got something else?
I ain't got nothing else.
Okay, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. By Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai.
Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai. Hey, Ashar Kadash Yarak.
Ashar Kadash Yarak.
All right, y'all. Shalom.
Shalom, Israel.
This is not a test.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, 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 black music, black music, black